Today's question is from Maria, who asks, how is it that our bones can heal when they get cracked, but sidewalks cannot heal when they get cracked? Because after all, sidewalks are really hard like bones. So what's different? That's a great question. So sidewalks are made out of concrete, and concrete is not alive. Bones, even though they're so hard, are actually alive. They're made by cells. We have two main kinds of cells in our bones. We have osteoblasts and osteoclasts. Osteo means bone. Now, what's interesting about these two kinds of cells is they're working opposite each other to build bone and to break down bone. So what will happen is the osteoblasts are going around building bone. The osteoclasts are cutting bone. That's how I remember which ones are which. So the osteoclasts are cutting bone. They're taking apart bone all the time because they're doing what's called remodeling. Now, maybe you've done some remodeling at your house, or you know someone who has, where they might move things around. They might put a kitchen counter in a different place, or put the bathroom sink in a different place, or maybe change a door or a window or a wall. So remodeling is something where you kind of rearrange things. Remodeling our bones is something similar. And it's something that's happening to our whole life. But when you're a kid, it's happening towards growing. And then as you get older, more of the taking apart tends to happen. So that's why it's really important to build nice, strong bones when you're young. So as you get older, you still have nice, strong bones. But what it means is if you break a bone, well, your bone's already remodeling anyways. So it just goes ahead and heals that part up. So when you break your bone, first you'll bleed into that area, because remember, you're alive, right? So the blood will fill in that gap. That blood is bringing all the supplies and materials that your cells need to rebuild that part of your bone. And then it will rebuild it again. Usually you'll have what's called a callus for a while, which is kind of a thicker part on your bone, where it's just been kind of a quick fix because you need your bone back together again. But then over the course of months and years, those cells will go in there and remodel that to smooth things out. And you might not even be able to tell someday that it was broken, depending on how old you are, what kind of break it was, things like that. If you have a question for me and you're a current student, you can submit that in the student dashboard under Ask Dr. Robin. And I look forward to answering more questions.